Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to the Scorpio channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Just interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel and all my channels, I like to dive deep within the reading. So I do look at everything, but we take a lot more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play it as karmic themes to help you understand why your person's doing what they're doing. Why would you attract that person into your life? If you're a mirror of whom what comes into your life, why would you choose that person? Well, obviously, we don't choose that person consciously. We have to remember that life is a school where we get the test first. It'll help you from thinking that there's something wrong with you. A lot of times we say, oh, is it just me? I always date these type people, or this always happens to me. You always know that when you have a shadow. When you have a shadow, it's just a spiritual block. It's psychological and it's emotional. It's held in the body as stress. It's what becomes our energy vibration. Are we aware of that? Yeah, we're aware if we're angry. We're aware if we're happy. However, it's those deep wounds that we're not aware. So what happens is karmic themes play out. So healing is about integrating the spiritual lesson and then actually transmuting that negative energy by embodying a new consciousness. So you may say, well, I've been doing, or I understand, but you don't feel like the wound is fully healed. Hey, everybody. So I just want to, give you a little bit of a background so that you can take the information and apply it to your life, because you are the alchemist of your own life, and nobody can heal you except for God and yourself. People can tell you, people can create awareness for you, people can hold space for you. Again, when people do Reiki and they do this type of healing, it is healing, but is it permanent? No, if it's not permanent until you change your mind, till you heal your mind. Again, we're only in physical form to learn and to manifest. You may say, what am I supposed to be learning? Well, you're supposed to be learning that you're not separate from your creator, from God, from the universe, from love, from unconditional love, which is your God-given energy. And when you're in that energy, you're abundant. You're open to receiving. What happens is we go through experiences that shut our heart down. And then our perception of what we feel we need becomes a little distorted based on the reality that we lived, right? I mean, it's your reality it's your environment that creates your reality, because your habits and your behaviorisms are built on whatever you experience. So if you're around someone that is a narcissist telling you that there's something wrong with you every day, well, you're going to again adapt to habits and behaviorisms that are going to sabotage you in the outside world, meaning trying to manifest abundance and money, trying to get into a good relationship, just having positive experiences. But you can heal yourself. The body and mind are self-healing organisms. Remember that. So we may not think, but again, the spiritual issues create physical issues, because again, you're only in physical form to learn and to manifest. By the time things actually manifest in the physical realm, it means that you've been, out of alignment for a little while. The karmic looping is the reoccurring karmic patterns that if you're like, oh, I keep dating the same type of person, or I'm in this relationship where this person keeps doing the same thing. And so again, being in the karmic loops is really another way that we condition ourselves unconsciously to perceive that we're something that we're not, or that our environment is something that it's not. So that's why they say it's really important to surround yourself with people. Sometimes you're born into karmic families, though, right? So again, when you are, that's the energetic template that you have gone through the experience. You felt the emotion. The emotion goes on your subconscious mind. That's the energetic template that really needs to be erased, which is why you have to really embody the new consciousness. Now, I know that was a lot. And I have to tell you guys that because, again, healing is just not part-time. I look at everything. So take what I'm telling you and apply it. All right, now let's see what the underlying energy is. Again, that tells us why a person does what they do. Again, we're seeing invincibility. Now, I'm kind of feeling that's your energy. Like, I'm unstoppable. I'm going to make sure that I'm unstoppable. See, oh my God, Scorpio, when you have your mindset to like what you want, nothing stops. Nothing stops us. Nothing. It's like because you become laser focused but you needed to heal. And I feel like now this person is jealous. And they're jealous because I feel like you've been in separation from someone for a while. And they're stalking you on social media. And like you're going out with your friends, you're like having good time. Like you don't have a care in the world. And it's like because you've decided to let this person go. Well, understand this person is perceiving. So you may say, I'm still healing, but this person is like, you're not chasing me. You're not calling me. You're not, sweating me. You actually look fine. I'm watching you. And, you went out with Mary yesterday. And then look, the day before, look, you rode your bicycle. And look, you went to the beach. It's almost like this person like is miserable where they're at. And they're watching you and they are jealous because I feel like you're like, I don't care what anymore. It's like, you don't treat me right. And it's like, and I'm going to show you that I know how to treat myself, that I love myself. You're not going to sit there and make me feel like a piece of shit. It's like, because that's how you feel about yourself. It's like where I feel like this person never in 1,000 years expected you to do that. You almost get this person a bitch slap where they're like, now they're like, they feel hurt. When meanwhile, they have absolutely no reason. And I say that because I look over here, I didn't do nothing. The cards are just down. And what do I see? It's just sorrow, sadness. Because they acted like they didn't give a shit. And that's really the truth of the matter. It's like, I'm going to treat you like you're less than by gaslighting. I'm going to create the facade. So that's why this person's jealous too, because they weren't really living their best life. They were just creating that facade. See, when you're living your best life, you're really having a good time. That's something that's felt, right? We can always be around someone that's a phony baloney where they're like, my life is great, but you know that their life isn't great because you can see that it's falling apart. Well, it's almost like this person cares a lot about what things look like on the outside, but I feel like they're dying on the inside. Because again, they acted like they didn't give a shit, so they didn't try. Memory, and you just felt like, well, this is the karmic loop. It's not like I didn't tell you. It's not like I didn't try and talk to you. It's not like I didn't put my best foot forward with you. It's like it's you reacted, and this person did react. They reacted in a really negative way. Again, the time, which is what I was saying. This person, like, again, I'm going to try to make you feel less than because I'm not going to give you the time. You're not that important. I'm going to act like I don't care, why did people, that's so immature. It's like, I'm going to act like I don't care. So you come chasing. So, but it didn't start that way is what I feel like. This person's so insecure because again, they're in regret. They're in regret because they're like not liking their life. They don't like what happened. I feel like there was, again, this person might have had a choice between you and like a past lover. Like, again, like where you felt like this person loved that past lover more, or again, there was somebody. So you're like, you give a lot more energy to everyone else. Yes, that was their plan. Their plan was to make you feel not good enough. However, this past lover, I don't really believe that it's love. I believe that this person's not happy because why would they be staring at you on social media? You know what I mean? They wouldn't be. They're not happy with the choice that they made or with that being manipulated. We don't know yet, but I kind of feel like this person didn't really act as if they wanted to be in a relationship and they had something else going on the side. So where you're like, okay, what is that? And it's like where you're like, listen, I suffered enough. Like it's again being with this person, they emotionally and psychologically abused you because they're not happy in their situation, but they're in their situation, and they're in their situation for money. They're in their situation for everything else except for love. And so this person wasn't honest, but they they never said anything. It was more like a lot of insinuation, them assuming and knowing you would act a certain way, is what I feel like. And that's what it is. It's like, and now remember, they're still not happy in their situation. They weren't happy when they met you, and they're still not happy. They're just feeling worse now because they had the opportunity to leave that situation and actually be honest. I mean, but they chose to be this doesn't even belong in this deck, by the way. But they chose to be toxic. And again, because I'm pulling from a completely different deck, and that card was in here. And so, you know, this is toxic behavior. You know why? Because it's all about them being selfish. It's all about them, and now they're acting hopeless. Almost like, hey, you're not going to rescue me. You're not going to fight for me. Like this person's a little delusional. They're delusional. They created so much mistrust within the relationship because now they feel guilty because guess what? They're lonely because it's not like they were creating a life. They're giving time to you and they're connected to someone else. Where's the time for your hobbies, your interests, and the other things in life? What's your pastime? Eating ass? Is that what you do in your pastime? I mean, you're doing something. It's like, is that what you're doing? But when you remove the people, what's left? I mean, it's the truth. It's like, what do you do in your pastime? It's like because you're disrespecting everyone. It's again, and again, we see that stubborn and things had to be my way. This person really thought that you were going to cave. And that's why he said to be strong, don't cave. So we see what happened. We see that they're not happy. It's not about really, again, abuse. You just had enough of the abuse, which after a while, the gaslighting, in order to hold on to someone else, they would have to make you feel unworthy, but that would only work if you kind of felt that way about yourself. And I only say that because the first sign a person shows you that they're not respecting you, you feel that gut in your stomach. You feel it because that's the Holy Spirit inside of you telling you, hey, like, I give you free will, but that person's like disrespecting us. And if you're like, look the other way or take this person's like excuses, well, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I really like this person. It's again, that's how this person, it's like, I'm stubborn. I don't cave. You'll cave to me. And what they see is you said, fuck you. I'm not doing any of that. I don't know who the fuck you think I am. Not today, Lucifer. And the reason why is because I'm clearing family karma. It's again, it's like I know who I am. I'm breaking generational curses. I'm like, again, my family might have been on the plantation. My family might have been in the Holocaust. My family might have been where bombs were going off and war was going off and they were starving. My ancestors are tough. Again, it's like, but I'm breaking that ancestral karma because I don't believe that I'm deserving of such treatment. I don't believe that I'm deserving of not being respected, not being loved, not being honored. I'm good enough. So here it says, damn straight. It's like, now we're talking. It is because I'm inside of you as the gift of the Holy Spirit. And when every time you're with someone like that thinks who the fuck they are, it's like you should be mad because being with them requires you to abandon yourself. And when you abandon yourself, this person will eventually leave you. because the spiritual law tells us we cannot abandon ourselves. Because if we do, there will be consequences, because God says, me first, I'm a jealous God. That's through you first. The kingdom of heaven's inside of you. If you can imagine it, you can create it. We're all David going up against Goliath. God says, please don't do my job. Be like childlike. Be in the passion for life. Where's your passion for life? That's your connection to every single person collectively, and that's your connection to God. That's your connection to the that deity part of self, that supernatural part of yourself that'll allow you to create your own heaven on earth. But you're going to sit there and waste time with this person, is again, that person's acting like the devil. It's like, and they're going to create a lot of pain and a lot of suffering and a lot of that, and habits and behaviorisms, which now again, it's not about being nice. It's not about being nice. It's about being nice to yourself. Yes, again, because this person showed you. They had to have shown you who they were every step of the way, but you ignored the red flags. So is what Spirit says. And the reason why I'm telling you is because there's always healing whenever we attract a person like this. You know, yeah, that's it. It's like you have to be gone, because understand, the person lives in fear. What you're clearing is the ancestral karma, which is just fear. And when it plays out in relationships, what is it? Betrayal. And why? Because experience betrayal. And how did that happen? Well, collectively born into societies, and then family dynamics. And again, where that parent taught by their actions, I can't trust you. And that could be, hey, a parent was an alcoholic, parent did drugs, parent, had boyfriends, or again, committed adultery, or abandoned the family, and abandoned them. So the perceived abandonment. So then what happens is we don't feel loved. We didn't get that nurturing. And so what happens is again, we don't feel safe. We don't feel safe in ourselves. So that fear is what needs to be cleared when we're healing ancestral karma. It's like, because it's going to come out within your relationships. It's also going to come out within money issues. Again, a lack feeling, I don't have. And the world will show you that too, especially when collectively everyone's looking at their paycheck and they're looking at their, what's going on. They're saying there's not enough. And the spirit says, I'm abundant, you're abundant. It's the perceived. Remember, the kingdom of heaven's inside of you. It's that you have to create yourself. And so it's an unfoldment process. And you might say, I can't do that. Well, again, you can. You'd have to change your life around. And healing doesn't feel good. You'd have to, again, like maybe like do a job before a job, apprentice, do something again to see a light at the end of the tunnel. Your third eye only opens when you're in your body and you're being led by your gut, your intuition, and you're giving and receiving of love. Otherwise, you're not going to see shit. And it's like, because you're not, I don't know, your mind will get in the way. Spirit says again, it's getting connected to you. You don't create strength outside of you. That's codependency. You create strength inside of you. So you can go with the flow of life, because you don't have control over the environment. You don't have control over anybody that with the betrayal wound. So Spirit says the only way that that's going to heal is when you become strong within yourself, because your intuition is going to lead you. Only in the now do you get divine guidance through gut intuition, inner knowing. How else is it going to happen? It's not going to happen. Don't be mad either, again, like at yourself, because then you have a block on top of a block on top of a block. It's like, and that's like, I hate myself. I'm so stupid, because that takes us further away. And God says, I don't make anything broken. And it's a school. Your earth is a school. And it's, again, you meet certain people to teach you what you need to heal, to show you what your gifts are, to inspire you, to motivate you. Again, to create all different emotions, but it first starts with you. So when you attract a person that betrays you, there's a sense of, I'm not safe, where spirit says you are safe, but the lack of connection to your higher self, that God part of self, is the problem because you don't feel safe. But you get, your intuition will warn you again, and that's claircognizance, clairsentient. Everyone has feeling. I can feel that person's an asshole. They didn't need to say anything. How can you tell? Oh, I could just tell. It's like why it only works sometimes. Spirit says it actually works all the time, but you don't trust yourself all the time. That's a second chakra imbalance. So to go with the flow of life, we have to become strong within ourselves. So we have to create a strong root, and that's the connection to the physical body, the physical world, all physical elements of the physical, world, which means money. That means support, but it also means your physical body. So all major systems of the physical body, the skeleton system, the endocrine system, and the nervous system. So trauma affects the nervous system. It also, you have cancer by the time you're 40 if you don't heal it. It's again because that spiritual blockage. You're only in physical form to learn and to manifest. The air that we breathe is prana, chi. Well, it's also spirit, it's God, it's ubiquitous, it's a universe, and we're part of that universe. And so, again, that's the universe has to work through us. We have to, the spirit is another word for universe. Spirit has to work through us, through the now, in the moment. That's why grounding is so important. But again, when we don't feel safe, because based on past experiences, we unconsciously are stuck in the karmic looping, which is betrayal. It's, I don't feel safe. It's going to happen again. And Spirit says it's not going to happen again. It's like getting your butt, like, snap out of it, fucking Alice. It's like you're stuck in fear. It's stupid. I don't trust myself. And Spirit says, again, no one trusts themselves. You trust yourself through seeing me work through you all the time and getting a good result. It's a faith walk. That's why it's a blind faith walk. But you have to love yourself and train your body and mind to work together. And that might mean for people that have betrayal to listen to spiritual information, to remind yourself who you are. you know, Understand, you may also understand when you have this type of fire energy, because betrayal would be seen as fire. It's fear held in that root chakra for long periods of time doesn't look like fear. It looks like rage. It looks like fire. And so it's the only energy that you can like transmute negative energy with. So again, you're an overachiever. Is again, anything that you want, you can have, because you're like, oh, I want that. I'm going to show up at the exact time. Oh, Mary Sue thinks she's going there at like 4 o'clock. That bitch, I'm going to get there 10 days before her. Fuck that. I don't care. They don't have a toilet. I'll figure it out. It's like, what do you mean you're going to figure it out? I always get my way. Because Scorpios, it's like emotion, sting. It's like, I'm going to get my way. And Spirit says, like this energy that you were in, what is that? That's not even your sign. It's like, again, Scorpios are mushy, they're passionate, they're creative, they're muses. That's who they are. Because again, all that emotional energy, but they also are tough and have that sting when someone disrespects them. And that's why Spirit said you didn't. And so the moment that you got impatient, and Spirit says, and you might be impatient with yourself, but Spirit says it's an unfoldment process. It's a co-creation process. So I always like to see, even though we would never go with this person, but we have an ego. We want to know whether or not what that person's going to do. Inquiring minds want to know. And we also want to know why they did what they did. And though we can pretty much figure it out. And most of all, why you attracted that person into your life. Otherwise, the whole, and what are you supposed to do with that energy? It's again, because you can't just get rid of fear. So how can you fully transmute it? And Spirit says, well, first of all, it's again, this person believes that you're their person. And this is, and though it's all about them. So why they're hurt is because it's almost like, listen, they were a past life karmic mate. They did have the opportunity to step it up, but they chose not to. And so they want you to like almost like overlook what they did. And they're like, well, if you really love me, you'd overlook it, you know? And so I feel like this person is going to approach you again, and they are because they feel like you're my person, and you know, and like, don't aren't you supposed to teach me? Like, they're going to tell you everything, but the truth of the matter is that Spirit says it's about loving yourself. It's going to seem selfish, Spirit says, because even if you have feelings for this person, that's why. Because I said, why you never agree to let us look at this person? And Spirit says, well, because the person's going to come back, and if you're not fully healed, you know, that it's a dangerous situation. It's like you already feel bad because you're going to want to believe this person's still impulsive. You know, they can't help it. You know, it's almost like when a person has a really bad root chakra imbalance, it's that their energy is normally again very low. They don't feel good about themselves. They're disconnected from themselves. They're not creating themselves. Like I said, what is this person doing? They're having a double life. That's what they're doing. They're not happy where they are. They're choosing to stay where they are, but they're not invested in their life. And so Spirit says, so of course they're impulsive, and there's a part of them that still has feelings for you. So they can come back to you and they remember how nice you were. And so Spirit says, you know, I don't want you to take this person back because they're going to tell you all the right things, and they long to get physical again, that physical touch, which is what it was about to begin with. Because again, they're in a dead connection where it's again, they're just not leaving that. So that doesn't, but they listen to other people. So that's the issue. It's like I have feelings for you, but I would still do exactly what I would do before, but I would pretend that I've changed. And that's why Spirit wanted us to look at it, because I was like, you were like, Spirit was very easy about that. I know I always like to see what the person's going to do, but I usually get a long lecture and feel like I have to get a lecture and give a lecture about it. And there wasn't. And that's because it was a shit message. The person wouldn't be honest. They wouldn't care. It's about what this person wants. And there's just too many issues to deal with. This person would never have the conversations that need to have because they're healing. So they stay frozen. So again, they never create the strong roots. And being with this person, always have to read between the lines because they're a liar. They're not happy with themselves. So they'll tell you whatever you want to hear from that moment. And they become that like a chameleon. But then they go back to who they are. And a person that's that way, then they're living from low energy. They're connected to something that they don't want to be with. And I can guarantee if I pulled long enough, I would find addictions and other things because people can't just live imbalanced that way. It's like they got to check out and they need help to check out after a while, especially if they're impulsive. You know, that serotonin kick. It's like they're not emotionally intelligent, but they're going to act that way. So they're really imbalanced. They're really someone that's imbalanced. And so again, this person can't really leave. They're dependent on that person. I don't know what happened, or again, it's maybe they invested a lot of time, money, energy, whatever. They can't lose it. And so they're like, again, I'm just going to be the victim. They're always the victim. And that's how they would come back to you, as the victim. Like if you caught them, well, I couldn't really get out of my situation, or I was on my way, but this person did this, like they have no control over their life. And they do. They don't want to do what they have to do. And that's not a strong person. And Spirit says, so why did you attract this person into your life? Because you're not shady. right? It's like, be like, well, am I shady? It's like we're mirrors of who and what. Spirit says, no, there's only two energies, love and fear. And so this person is clearly in fear because they're living that way. They're not that. That's why they're jealous of, hey, you're not affected. You're moved on. You're not, you should be crushed. See, you need to be crushed because that would feed my ego. Or I need to see you as your life is fucked up. So I wouldn't want to be with you. And I don't see either one. So it's again, it's triggering this person why they're jealous because it's like, well, you're not affected. And you, it's not that you're not affected. I mean, this person was messed up, but you're like, I'll be damned. You're not going to stop me. This person sees you as invincible. Remember, that's the first card that came out. All right. So again, Spirit says we have to look at the inner child wounds, outdoors, and nature, resilience, space, nurture, disassociated, confusion, and one more, rebellious. You know, it's funny. It's like I don't really feel like these are horrible cards. I mean, disassociation, whenever we see it, there is trauma. It's not like there isn't, you know. But for some, I feel like you were just sensitive, like a sensitive kid. It wasn't even like, oh, I had such trauma or anything like that. It's like you might have had a friend or someone close to you when you were young, and that trauma, and maybe your pet mother or father was not very nurturing to you, right? So we look at the inner child wounds, but again, I wouldn't say that that's severe trauma. However, it doesn't matter. Spirit says, you know, if your parent didn't nurture you, then you wouldn't know, and they didn't nurture themselves, then, you know, then you're going to adapt to their habits, their behaviorisms. You're clearing family karma. What is that karma? Well, that karma would be, again, the disassociation from trauma, but taking care of yourself. It's again, and being as grounded. So again, maybe it wasn't even your trauma. Maybe it was your parents' trauma. I watched my mother get abused. I watched my father suffer. I watched there was sickness. There was whatever. It's some experience that made you perceive, oh, it's not safe. When again you didn't get the nurturing that you needed, you know, as a kid. It's again, is the child is always going to be sensitive to overly sensitive. It's supposed to be to create that karmic theme, but it didn't mean that you weren't strong. And it's again, you were strong because you were seen as after a while, you went from one extreme, from being extremely sensitive to fuck it, I don't care. And then again, being seen as rebellious and being like, well, it got done. It just got done my way. It was like because I was frozen, scared, stiff, because I didn't have the nurturing. So I had to figure it out and I had to get to the point where I was exhausted. However, it was very confusing. It was very confusing to grow up and not really have that nurturing and that support when I was going through that. And also just life was confusing. I mean, there was no instructions and a lot of parents were like, you know, they weren't open to certain discussions. Or their children didn't feel comfortable with certain discussions. So it was like, how was your day at school? It was fine. You know, it was like the minimum that you answered because, hey, that was a hot question. You know, you could say that it was fine, and then could go into a 30-minute discussion of why was it fine? And you've turned around and they find out that it really wasn't fine because you failed the test or whatever. It's just, again, not feeling safe, not feeling like, again, I have to grow up like a little stiff. And so, again, it's that first connection that we have with our parent, which is how we view the outside world. And if we saw it as that parent, like we knew that they loved us, but the way that they showed that they loved us was very confusing. And so and the way that we judged who we are and the outside world became a little distorted. And so understand that's everyone has a little bit of that. But then Spirit says, but then you didn't create enough of yourself. This is a second chakra issue because the second chakra is all about your individuality, who you perceive that you are when you look in the mirror. And Spirit says, if you didn't go out and create yourself and find yourself and pour into yourself, you wouldn't really 100% know and understand. When you are doing that continuously, a path begins to unfold. It's like you're not moving you. Spirit doesn't just work through you through gut, intuition, inner knowing. It works through your environment to bring you the people, the situations, and the experiences that are going to be abundant, that are going to change your mind and your heart about who you perceive you are. But doesn't mean that you're going to like what comes your way. Spirit says, don't judge the process. It's again, understand we're only at this one stop, maybe to learn one thing. And so people come into your life for a day, a season, or a lifetime. This person only was supposed to come in for a day. They came in for a season and they overstayed. And Spirit says, that's a lot of time. It's a lot of time, Spirit says. So what should you be creating in that space? Again, how are you going to transmute that energy? Otherwise, it's going to feel like there's a hole. Well, there's a hole. I'm trying to recover. I told you I'm trying to heal from this. How are you doing that? Oh, I'm going to watch TV tonight. And I'm going to reward myself with a bag of chips. Or I'm going to go out to the club. And Spirit says you have to heal it from the inside out. So we have to say, what are those things? How are we going to transmute that negative energy? Because if it's a second chakra imbalance, Spirit says, filling yourself it's going to temporarily do. But after a while, you're going to see money becomes a thing, or, you're buying stuff that you don't need, and then you can't do other things. So no, you don't want to do that. So again, love blocks. Spirit is saying, ooh, this love blocks, this is from the wounds. So this is what you have to heal. I thought that again, we were going to transmute it. And Spirit's saying, well, there was a few of these cards in there. So, and I never think that there's any mistakes. So again, the spiritual blockage of love blockage, which is what you're trying to heal, which we know that already. Okay. Let's see. Different deck. Okay. So again, transmuting that negative energy, and we see as the alchemist. So again, you have to turn that fear into fire, and you can do that by using like the negative energy and creating with it. And that means doing something. It's like finding yourself. You say, I don't know what to do. Have a love affair with yourself. You don't know what hobbies you have. You don't like music. You don't like entertainment. You don't like sports. You don't like the outdoors. You don't like, and then it's like, and if you don't know, I don't know, well, then try it. Spirit says, love yourself enough to create a life for yourself. Because again, this is what's going to connect you to other people and give you emotional support, so that when you see somebody that's out of balance, that again, what they do for their fun, they do other things aside from eat ass. They, actually go out into the world, and, they have hobbies, they have interests, they have friends. So they're emotionally being fed. Spirit says, where was your fed? What are we doing here? Like, were you expecting that person to feed you? Because they're living with somebody to get fed. They can't feed you. They can't even feed themselves. That's why they don't leave that situation. It's like going to an empty well for water. You attracted what you are. So Spirit says, again, you have to alchemize the energy. See, being on the illusion of that, what you perceive about yourself. It's an illusion. It's like it's an illusion due to, again, the experience of this, where it came from, this is what I lived, this is what has happened. Spirit says, though that's a one reality. There's many different realities that play out at one time. You're the alchemist of your life. Quantum jump into a reality that you want to experience. Who the hell wants to experience that type of reality? Nobody. Spirit says. So it's again, and it's keeping you stuck in a place of limitation. And as long as you feel fear, well, then you're going to keep attracting the same old nonsense. Got to love yourself. That's that root chakra. And that's sometimes it's again our experiences. Or, hey, this is what happened. And Spirit says, yeah, but we need to learn to look at things from a different thing. God is all knowing. You have God inside of you. So you actually can see things from all different directions too. You have to, again, learn from it. You never lose. You learn or you excel. Sometimes, again, we learn something. Oh, I learned something new. You know, it's like, but you never lose. Spirit says, learn to look at things from that perception when it comes to yourself. Because I'm inside of you. You got to honor yourself. I gave you free will, but if you're going to say that you're an asshole all the time, well, you're not going to have a problem with that. It's like, because you're calling me an asshole because I'm part of you and I made you. So I don't make junk. It's like, it's how you're operating the material here, the merchandise, the equipment. You're not doing it proper, you know. You don't know how to work the weed whacker, so why do you take it out? It's you don't know what you're doing. It's like, ask somebody, Spirit's saying. It's like, or don't keep trying to do the same thing the same way. You just get stuck and stupid, and that makes you fear. I can't figure it out. And that affects the nervous system. Then we're up in our head trying to figure out things, and God is just saying, look at this person. They're trying to do my job. Yeah, they're not going to do very well because they're stuck in the karmic loop. So I'll bring them another experience until you do something different, because what you resist persists. It's again, and the reason why is because we don't learn, and life's a school. So again, Spirit says, now it's time to live authentically, boldly, live out loud. That's how you're going to attract the right people, the right situations, the right experiences into your life. Is everyone going to like you? No. Are you going to be perfect? No. We shoot for excellence because nothing's perfect. You have your excellence, and that's through your unique individuality, who you perceive you are when you look in the mirror. And if you're like, I don't really know, or I don't really like it, well, that's where you need to start. Otherwise, you're going to keep reliving betrayal, because you'll always give too much, because you're like, well, it's exciting. The relationship is fun. It's like, I don't know. I was seeing, Spirit said, you saw what you wanted to see. It's like, again, you saw, it's again, and you were out of balance. You were looking in the rear view mirror again, and the objects are a lot closer than they actually are. Well, I thought they were good looking. And what was it? Beer goggles. It's like, well, how the hell did that happen? And the Spirit says, because you're out of balance. So again, I'm telling you through your experiences, so you can again heal. And that's through healing that second chakra. Live boldly, out loudly, and that's for whatever the fuck it means for you. Unapologetically, too. Unapologetically. Love yourself and surround yourself with the people that are going to reflect that back. And you will eventually attract the right person into your life. The illusion is that you can't have it, because you're like, no, because look at this is what's out there. Yes, where you are in this vibration, in this wound, in this reality. It's like, but there's other realities, pick a different reality. Get up and change the channel, Spirit says, and do it by self-loving yourself. Like, there's a whole deck here, and Spirit chose that one for you, saying, if you attracted that person, you didn't love yourself. Love yourself by becoming yourself. Kingdom of heaven's inside of you. Imagine it, create it, become it. It's again, attend to the needs of your own soul. Listen to your heart. Your inner essence lets you know what is good for you, and respect your limits. Answer the requests of your body and your soul, and learn to love yourself. Be true to you. Again, because when you are, then you attract the right people into your life. And again, it's not about being liked, it's about being respected. Because sometimes it takes a while for people to actually like you, because they're like, I don't really know how to take you. And that's okay. It's like you have to allow their process, and you can allow anyone their process as long as you are emotionally being fed. Because if you're emotionally being fed, you're not going to give too much and be like, well, I'm waiting for this person to like get it together. I'm waiting for them to figure it out. No, it's like I'm living. I'm having a good fucking time. You know what? Because you'll leave this person better, because they'll learn from you. That's really what this relationship is going to do for that person. It pushed you into, again, hey, this is who I am. Like it, leave it, lump it. This is who I am. I'm living boldly. I don't have to live by your rules, because Spirit said you didn't do that. Because again, you always had a little bit of a rebellious nature, but it doesn't have to be, oh, I would live so uncomfortably until I finally ripped that person's head off. And then I did what I wanted, because Spirit says, that's the second chakra imbalance. It's not all or nothing. It's like you can go with the flow of life when you again heal that center, that birthing center. Create. What are you birthing? What are you creating? How are you becoming? And Spirit says, because that's how you're going to really heal intimacy issues. And we know that betrayal creates intimacy issues, which is why you see people like say, well, the relationship was so hot and heavy in the beginning, and then I couldn't even look at that person after a while. They just disgusted me. Why did it go from one extreme to another? That person abandoned, or I abandoned. And Spirit says, because of that. It's like, as long as you don't know the person, but when you get real close, then that's when it falls apart, when it becomes real. And Spirit says, because there was no balance, you have to train a person to respect you. And that's through living life. They're not going to always like you. People have to get over the illusion of, well, I thought you were perfect. I'm not. And you're a narcissist if you want someone to be perfect. It's, again, that means that you feel inadequate, and it's not my job to heal you. So you just weeded that person out. Betrayal only happens when you're out of balance. I'm going to leave that there, guys. All right. Love yourselves. Be true to yourself. I'll talk to you soon. Because if you don't do it, no one else is going to do it. By the way, check out my products and like the video if you resonated with it. It'll help the channel grow. It's good karma. Um, and I will talk to you guys. Love you. Mwah. Bye, Doy. Bye, Luminous Sky, and Mose, and everyone else that joined me today. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.